ladies and gentlemen, it is start time. Are you ready for start time? Thank you, and thank you very kindly. It is indeed a great pleasure to present to you at this particular time.
It's your boy E-Dale, a.k.a. Mr. Facts, man.
That's facts.
Kick the truth to the young black youth.
That's facts. That's facts.
It's your boy E-Dale, a.k.a. Mr. Facts, man.
That's facts.
Yes indeed, man. It's your boy E-Dale, man, aka Mr. Facts, man. I'm back with another show today, man. I got a great topic today, man. I got one that resonates throughout the entire black community. And my guest today is none other than the Goon on the couch, man. So, you know, I got him back again, man. My man, aka the Goon, Maurice Bibbs. And we're going to discuss this matter, you know. So, hey, yo, Bibbs, can you hear me?
I hear you good.
Okay. So, look, man, I want to discuss this topic, man, because after discussing this topic time and time again with people in the community, I want to talk about how we view law enforcement, right? You know, it's a lot going on in the black community when it comes to law enforcement already, but how do we view black law enforcement? I'm gonna let you go first with this because I know that you worked in a prison facility, and you may have a take on this as well. So, how do you view black law enforcement, or how do you think that your view, or if they consider you guys law enforcement?
Okay. Well, initially, before you in that line of work, I wouldn't rock with it like that. Just from, you know what I'm saying, being a black man from Detroit, Michigan, and dealing with certain officers.
Right.
You know, so, you know, it kind of like put a bad taste in your mouth or whatever. But, you know, after you grow up and move around the world and go places or whatever, you know, I look at it now, it's like everybody got a job to do.
Right.
You know, so not necessarily now, I don't look at it as a bad thing. But like as a youth, a teenager, you know what I'm saying? I really didn't like law enforcement.
Right.
At all. So,
and you said you're from Detroit.
Yeah.
Right. So that is a pretty tough place to live. You know what I'm saying? So, and like growing up in Detroit, you said that like as a young guy growing up, like your encounters with law enforcement, like were they like
it wasn't good?
They weren't good? Okay.
No, it wasn't good. Like, you know, I ain't gonna put no names out there, but it was a couple messed up individuals out there, you know, and it was black and it was cops or whatever, man. And I'm telling you, man, they'll put something on you. You know, you know what I'm saying. So you just try to stay away from them type, stay out of situations that you can get, you know, potentially messed up.
Right.
But you know, but it is an importance for law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
It's more or less now the people that's in it.
Right. So, but the black community feel like we're being policed differently than everyone else in other communities. You know what I'm saying? And as far as me, like I'm just me personally. Even as an adult, I still have mixed emotions with it. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way I was raised and where I was raised.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So I got mixed emotions about it. You know what I'm saying? I just say it like this. I don't think it's equitable as far as the decision making, as far as the penalties are concerned when you're arresting black folks or when you're arresting non-black folks. You know what I'm saying? But we look at black. In my community, we look at the black police officer as a sellout, you know. I mean, that's just the reality of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Growing up, you felt like, look, you're a part of the system
that's oppressing us. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you stepped in to help them. You know what I'm saying? Because they need you to keep eyes on us. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing growing up. And look, and I want people to know it don't necessarily have to do anything or mean any lifestyle that you live, because you could have been a regular Joe and you still got harassed by the police in the black community.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? It
For
doesn't
sure.
have to, it doesn't. You could be a working man. You know what I'm saying? You still
Right.
got harassed by the cops. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's why we view black law enforcement the same way, because I've seen times where it's been a situation where it's a white cop around and he harassing, the black cop never steps in to say anything.
Never say a word. Yep.
Never say a word.
Yeah.
They condone it. Don't say anything. So of course, that's how you're gonna view that, and that's how that's displayed throughout our community. So, but the question would be, if do you think that there could be like a bridge between like the black community and black law enforcement? I mean, because look, we always say we want certain things. We want police that looks like us in our community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
right.
if that is true, then how do we get to a point where we stop seeing black law enforcement like that? Like, what are some of the things that you think? I know we're not specialists, but we're just having a discussion about it. What are some of the things that you think that they could do to actually create a bridge? With, you know what I'm saying, in the community?
Well, one, it have to be in the people. Just like, I can give you an example. When I first started working at the prison, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was young, so nobody really wanted to listen. They're like, who the hell is this young dude? So you got to so I'm saying that to say this, you got to give the person a chance.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you have to like give them a legit shot. If you're not going to be open and give them a chance, it's like you're really wasting your time.
Damn. Yeah, you're right. I think it all plays a part on the behavior of both parties as well. You know what I'm saying? Because
Bingo.
I don't want you to run up on me, especially as a black cop, and just automatically assume I'm into
Right.
something or doing
Right.
something. Yeah, I mean you're placing the same stereotype on me that the white officers place on me. You know what I'm saying? When they see
Right.
me, you know what I'm saying? So that's
Right.
where that divide comes from. Me personally, I don't think that it'll be able to be one, and that's just my personal opinion. I think it's just because of the bad blood, and if it does become one, it'll be a very long time. I don't think that we'll see it in our lifetime. Where it's like hand in hand and supporting your community and supporting like black law enforcement, things like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that could ever be, because look, I'm going to give you a situation, and I'm not sure if I told you this, and in this particular situation, I was a child, I was a kid, I probably was about 10 years old, 11 years old. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I got off the school bus. I came home after school. I maybe was a little bit older, but I got off the school bus, and my grandmother and my dad's house was being raided. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
literally raided. The school bus, the kids, everybody's watching this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the people that know me, they know I'm telling the truth. This is fact. You know what I'm saying? I'm not lying. That was way when I was a younger kid. I was a kid then, but this is what was happening. And the police pulled us aside, pulled us and like, these Lindsay-Dale kids. You know what I'm saying? These his kids.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? Like pointing to his younger officers. You know what I mean? I could quote the names that was there that did it. I still remember those same officers because they were the ones that were chasing me. For real. Like
Right.
they said, it was almost like they was like, yo, look, you're going to be chasing these guys next. You know what I'm saying? And standing there as a kid, you know that even the cops play cops and robbers. You know what I'm saying?
Bingo.
Even the cops
Bingo.
play cops and robbers. They target you from a youth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm getting off the school bus.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he's saying this to his officers. You know what I'm saying? So I've never had a great and good encounter with law enforcement. Me personally, I've never had a good encounter with law enforcement. I have never had a encounter with law enforcement where we're just sitting here and we you know what I mean? Like, as far as that, because it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just in our blood. It's in our DNA that it's like, you know what I mean, the hatred for all the things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The past, you know what I'm
I
saying?
think that. I think that's what it is too. It's just embedded in us at an early age, and that's why I made the comment. Like, sometimes, if you really want to be real, you got to give them a chance. Now, if they're a piece of crap,
Right.
then they're a piece of crap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, everybody gotta give everybody an opportunity.
Right.
And I know that's hard for us as a people. That's
Right.
man, that's real hard. Like, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I ain't never had a lot of good encounters with them either.
Right.
But one of the best encounters I done had came from a white cop
Wow.
pulling me over. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, I'm getting ready to go to jail. I'm getting ready to go to jail tonight, And he was like, license, registration, whatever, whatever. He was like, you speeding kind of fast, wasn't you? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, my house is right up the street. It's like right there. I'm pointing it. I'm pointing to it, whatever. He said, man, this sure is a pretty car. I was like, thanks a lot. He ran my stuff. He came back. He said, Mr. Bibbs, going to go home. He recited my address.
Right.
He said, going to go home. He said, because all the cops out here ain't like me. And I was like, let me hurry up and get my ass home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's basically letting me know, like, bro, you in the wrong town.
Mm-hmm.
You the wrong color. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
he let me go.
Right. Right. And that's sad for black people because we've all experienced something like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
We've all experienced something like that. You know what I'm saying? So and that's why I say it just feels like for me, and I think that I could pretty much speak for a lot of the people like me in my community. For me, I mean, it's just like almost I don't know if you can ever bridge it between law enforcement, even black law enforcement. I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? How to even begin because it feels awkward to me. Even though I know I'm doing everything legit, even though
Right.
I know I'm living my life the right way, it's still something in me like I don't trust the cops.
You just don't trust him.
I just don't trust the cops. I don't want to talk to you. Look, I don't want to talk to you. Like
We
if
don't
a
got
cop,
nothing to talk about.
look, a cop pulled me over a couple weeks ago. I got a speeding ticket, and it was a black cop, and a lot of people in that town knew him. So he pulled me over and gave me a ticket. I didn't say one word to him. He didn't say. He said he came to the car. He was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I already had my papers in my hand because
Right.
I'm already known that
Less talking as possible.
right. I'm already exactly, and then I'm already on. Look, I got my stuff right here in front of me in a plastic bag, so you won't have to see me reach. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
have to have
yeah.
my license and registration in a Ziploc bag over top of my head, so the cops
Visible,
won't see
yeah.
me reach down or to the side or my back pocket or things like that. And I'll only crack my window.
Right.
I don't talk. I only crack my window and I lock my doors.
Yeah.
So I mean, my thing is this: I haven't done it. I haven't done anything wrong or anything, but for me to have to take that kind of precaution when I get pulled over in
When
America,
everybody don't have to,
listen,
when
in this
everybody
day of
don't have to do
time,
that.
my thing is
Yeah.
in this day of time, if I feel like I have to put myself in a position and do that just to protect myself from law enforcement, man, you know how crazy that sounds.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
you know how ludicrous that is that I got to live my life in fear of law enforcement that's authority on the land, and law enforcement say they fear me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we can't
Well,
always
shoot,
keep.
back in the day, it wasn't no social media. So think of how scared you would have been back in the day.
Oh my God, man! I already
With
know,
no cameras and all that. You feel me?
man, the danger that you put that you was in. See, and that's why I think like right now today, I didn't realize. I knew the dangers I could be in, but I didn't realize like to what degree of the danger that I could be in. You know what I'm saying? Not just from, everything that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But even from law enforcement. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All these, even in your own community, just the dangers you put yourself in doing certain things, and then sometimes you're just in danger anyway, even eliminating those things, you know what I'm saying? So it's like almost like we all living in fear. Everyone's living in fear of something, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's just how I see black law enforcement. I don't know if I don't know if I want to really just sit down with them and just, talk or listen, but I'm willing to, because I think that, like you said, we do have to give each other an opportunity to talk and speak. You know what I mean? And maybe I can put out there like what I'm feeling to an officer. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think it's important. Like you said, we do need to have the conversation. And look, I'm an adult now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I should be able to sit down and say, hey, look, this is what I fear for not just for myself, but my child. You know what I'm saying? This is how I fear because my child, he may move a certain way or act a certain way. I fear that you may take that as a sign of aggression or anything. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't see me the way you see your kid. Your kid don't move like I move. And black people, when we talk, we use our hands a lot. You know what I'm saying? So they take that as aggression. Stop moving your hands. So you like, yo, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Like, calm down, bro.
Right, yeah. And then, they're like, no, put your hand, you're like, yo, what, you know what I mean? So it's like one of those things. It's like a cultural blind, right? Because they don't understand our culture and how we live or how we are as a culture. You know what I'm saying? Because we had to create a language. We had to create a style because we didn't have one over here as black Americans. You know what I'm saying?
So you just said that. So think about this again, what you just said. And that was a great point that you said. So that makes it all the more important when you do, because we want people like us in neighborhoods that we live in, correct?
Correct.
So that's going to make it all more, it's a win-win if it can work.
Right.
Because think about it. You just said they really don't understand us because they have not been around us.
Right.
So you're going to have to give these black law enforcement people a chance because, we always say we want this, that, and the other, but then the opportunity is right there and you're not open to give these people a chance to make changes,
Right.
It's very important.
Right. So I think you are right about that. So you know what? And I need to I know a guy that I grew up with. He's law enforcement now, and he's black. So maybe I need to reach out to him and talk to him, and we could have a show and discuss. I'm gonna ask him to come on my show.
Yeah.
Because that would be dope to hear from him. You know what I'm saying? Just to hear like how he see it because he grew up the same way we did. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not intense. Some of the things that we done. But he's from the same neighborhood and sat on the porches with us and kicked it with us. And by the way, he's my sister, one of my sister's best friends. You know what I'm saying? So,
that'll be a good dialogue with it.
I would like to get with him in dialogue one day, just sit down and we just have a comfortable space. And look, I would like to have him in uniform so people can see that, like we having a dialogue. You know what I'm saying about law enforcement and how. People in the black community say they want to be policed or should be policed. You know what I'm saying?
Town home meeting, bro.
And look, we can't have it both ways.
Right? Exactly.
Because a lot of times we're trying to have it both ways. You can't have it both ways.
Have it both ways.
Law enforcement is going to be a part of every community, but let's try to focus on how we should be policed. You know what I'm saying? And who should be policing, you know what I'm saying, our neighborhoods and how those officers should conduct themselves, you know what I'm saying, with training and all these things, you know what I'm saying? So so we don't get mixed signals and we don't get to the point where, we were before, so I think it would be a good idea, man, to just dialogue, man. So and that'll be something different for me because it'll be totally out the box.
Right. I think that'll be good, man. You have some type of town hall meeting, so you got the officer, then, you may have somebody on there that may not be for that. Right. So, you can get them both on there and, chop it up.
Right. And look, man, I think that, because, and we always say in our communities, man, we need to police ourselves, make sure we doing so, holding each other accountable, you know what I'm saying, doing the right things in the neighborhoods, keeping them clean, because you got elderly people and children here, you know what I'm saying? Think about what it's doing to them, you know what I'm saying? And right now, today, it's more opportunities out here for us, you know what I'm saying? So we got to say, we got to stop saying, look, because I like to focus on looking at the bigger picture, and that is like ultimately making sure I'm taking care of my family. You know what I'm saying? Me praising God, first, the Lord Jesus, second, me taking care of my family, and lastly, just my hustle. You know what I'm saying? Grinding every day. You know what I'm saying? That's the third thing. And these things should come in that order. You should prioritize that way. You know what I'm saying? So me saying that, I think it is coming to a point where I would love to sit down and talk with someone in black law enforcement and just kind of understand how they feel too. Because look, let me ask you a question. When you worked in a facility, and I know I just jumped way over the place. It just came to me. So when you worked in the prison facility, like as a black man, how does it make you feel for like how do black people receive you there, like in there? Like, did they receive you like, hey, this guy, he's all right, he's cool, or do they talk, shit to you or trash to you?
Yeah, I done had it all the ways, you know what I'm saying? Whether, you know what I'm saying, but once somebody get to know me, man, it's like I'm infectious, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So me per se, bro, I didn't have a hard time working there at all because, it was funny. I was talking to my daddy about this last night. I have to not use the word never. I would never work in the prison. God damn, I worked in the prison.
Right.
I would never go to the military. I did all that shit just from, on the east side of Detroit, man.
Right.
It was rough. So when I went in there, man, it felt like, honestly, bro, it felt like I was back on the block.
Wow.
Not saying that I was doing no illegal things and nothing like that, but that was what I was used to because, my uncles and my pops, they back and forth in prison.
Right.
So me giving a person a real opportunity to be, you know what I'm saying? It was nothing for me because I'm like, bro, everybody got to get a chance. And just because you ain't here don't mean that this is the end. Right. So for me, it wasn't hard for me at all, man. Right. It wasn't hard for me at all.
Well, that's huge, man, because you was able to. Well, you know what? I think they had somebody that they could identify with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I agree with him, because you do have some of those people like that. That's live the same place you live, can identify with your struggle. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
But like I said, look, I think at this point in my life, I have no problem with really no law enforcement. I just really think that I've just put up a wall. I just have a wall up where I just don't want conversation. You know what I'm saying?
You just want to stay out of the way.
I just want to stay out of the way. I just don't want to be in your way, and I don't want you in my way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just how I try to live my life. But I'm just saying, I don't even think that is a good way to live. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to be feeling a certain type of way when I encounter black law enforcement or anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they shouldn't feel this type of way either. That's what I'm saying. Anxieties are really high.
Anxiety be real high. Exactly.
Yeah, anxiety is really high. And if you come to the car or when I'm pulled over and already got your hand on your gun, like
that's now you on tilt now. Like, hold up, bro. Like,
right. So now I'm like, yo, look, before we move forward, you got your hand on your gun. My doors are locked. My windows is cracked. Call your supervising officer. And could you please, and if I have my phone in my hand, I'll call 911 myself and say, please get someone that of color, a black person preferably. Because I'm a black person. I have a white law enforcement officer at my door. He has his hand on his gun. I asked him to turn his body cam on. You know what I'm saying? Just things like that. You know what I'm saying? And just be prepared when it comes to those things. Already have your phones on record. Have a thing in your car where you just can, tap it and it automatically starts to record, and things like that to protect yourself.
For your safety, yeah. You got to do it.
And then on the flip side, you like, why do I have to prepare myself like this in life when I'm supposed to be free? That's how I feel as a black man. Why do I have to do this to protect myself and my life and I'm supposed to be free?
Right, because it don't supposed to be like this.
Right, so I think that's what the mix-up is with the black community and black law enforcement. Particularly, we can say law enforcement at all, but I'm just talking about how black law enforcement is perceived. Because I've talked to several people this week, even people from my own community that I stay in contact with and talk with, and they look. I see the police as black law enforcement as sellouts.
Yeah, you hear that a lot. Yeah, you definitely hear that a lot.
You're working with the enemy,
right?
We know what policing was.
Yeah.
They chased us around for the master. They lived on the plantations.
Right.
They was the overseers.
Right.
So that's the way that we look at them, and that's the way that we was raised. And I think that it was the way we was raised, and what our great grandparents and everything taught, and continue to teach down the line. It was just true. So I don't think that people. That's why I think people see black law enforcement as a problem. And then when the song came out, we were growing up. That even intensified it.
Man, what? yeah, for real.
That even intensified it. Now, you knew as a young black kid, you did not want to be a cop.
You could be a lot of stuff, but being a cop wasn't one of them.
Man, listen. being a cop wasn't one of them. So I mean, growing up like that with that attitude, man, that's just the reality. You know, that's just, and people say, hey, look, how could you grow up like that? It was just the reality. That's just what it was. That's how black people was living, and that's how we was treated. You know what I'm saying? We could only live a certain way. We didn't have financial freedom. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have things that was passed down. You know what I'm saying? When we were set free, or supposedly supposed to be set free, we didn't have things to pass down. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be creative for ourselves and our family, because doors are still closed to us. You know what I'm saying?
It still is to this day.
Still to this day, doors are closed to us. And I guess that all of that plays a part into why we see black law enforcement the way we see them. You know, so that's just what my take on it. That's where I stand with it. So, you know, man, this was a great conversation, man. You know, so by the way, and I'm gonna reach out to this officer, and I'm gonna ask him if we could do a sit down, man, and we could talk and you know, maybe like you said, have a town hall.
Yeah, that'd be good, man.
Ask questions, you know, about like, you know, why black law enforcement don't say nothing when
you got the opportunity.
When you have the opportunity. But look, there are some black officers that speak out. Well, I ain't gonna say they ain't no, because there are some black officers that speak out against their white counterparts killing young black people. You know what I'm saying? They are some that speak out. But you don't see that a lot. That's not what you see a lot. That's not what the news wants you to see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, the news don't want you to see black officers going against the blue code. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we're not standing for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. If I work with you, you do that, you got to go. I'm calling you out.
Yeah, I'm going to call you out on it. Yeah.
we doing something about it. You know what I mean? There are some like that. So don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Officers sit down and explain and say how they feel about, you know, these situations. So I'm anxious. I'm curious to see how an officer gonna feel about it. Some of the questions I will have to ask about incidents like that occur every day in America, or incidents of black on black violence, and how does his white counterpart, his officers, see him or view it? You know what I'm saying? Does it make them feel bad? Does it be like, oh, you know, y'all stand up for Black Lives Matter when we do it, why you don't stand up for when your community do it to you? Because I get that as well from white friends that I know, and I don't get offended. I don't get offended because, look, they have a right to ask that as well. You know what I'm saying? So in this dialogue, but I will say to people that ask that, I will say that, look, you're not the oppressed. You know what I'm saying? Drugs wasn't placed in your communities. And guns was given to us in these little communities with alcohol stores on every corner. And,
every corner, bro.
Things
every
like
corner,
that.
man.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't see that in white communities or upscale
You don't.
communities. And
You don't,
things
bro.
like that.
You don't.
So,
You don't.
I would just remind them of those things, that oppressive behavior, or the behavior of the oppressed, should I say. I mean, it's intensive. It's intensive. You know what I'm saying? They get, once they get riled up, you know, anything could happen. So
anything.
And that's what we want to try to stay away from. You know what I'm saying, in the communities and like that. And let's not try to put so much pressure on. Well, we should continue to put pressure on law enforcement. Period. You know what I'm saying? Especially those that we want police in our communities. So I say, look. If we got to have law enforcement, yeah, I would love to see more faces like mine walking my streets or riding my streets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I would love to see that, but I would also love to see them not behave in a way, because we also know that we have those black officers out there that's robbed you before, that's beat you up before. I mean, it's just the reality.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Or show out for the white cop.
Yep. Go above and beyond, you know. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we do have that as well. So I won't sit here and act like that's not happening, because that's happening every day.
That's definitely happening.
And black communities, and I'm gonna just say, it's because people don't see it that's not from the black community. It doesn't mean it's not happening. I'm here to tell you, it's happening every day in black communities. You know. So,
you're right, man. You are so right.
So, yeah, we just got to fix the problem, man, and just try to figure out a way to overcome, you know what I'm saying, some of those anxieties and fears when we encounter each other, because those encounters could become deadly
Yes, sir.
Or very painful.
In the
So,
blink of an eye. Yeah, in the blink of an eye.
yeah, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to cause more confusion and more separation. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody should be able to be freely walk around without fear. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
The rules should be the same for everybody.
yeah, but like I said, I mean that's just how communities feel about black law enforcement. They feel like they sell outs. I mean, you concur. I mean, even working in the place that you worked, I'm sure it's a lot of officers that know that and feel that because we've hurled those remarks at them. You know what I'm saying? Several times.
Right. Yeah.
So they're aware of it. So I just say I don't know how you could bridge it, but I'm willing to sit down and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So
see that's the start.
Yeah.
That's the start. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm willing to sit down and talk about it because I got questions I want to ask as well. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, man. Look, I'm happy you came by on the show today, man, so we could discuss this topic. We're gonna get further into it when I get the officer on, man, and see if I can get him on, and then I'll invite you back, man, and we'll all sit down and still discuss the matter and hopefully just try to come to some understanding, points. You know what I'm saying of why we receiving each other the way we are, so
right.
And everything. So look, man, today was a good show, man. It was a good topic, man. Look, I thank you for stopping by again, my brother.
No doubt, man. I appreciate it too.
And you're welcome on the show anytime. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So today's show, man, look, like I'm saying, man, it's your boy E-Dale, a.k.a. Mr. Facts, man. If you're out there, you're listening to this show, man, look, man, you shouldn't have to live in fear. Whether you in the black community or whether you black law enforcement, man, you shouldn't have to live in fear. You shouldn't have to encounter each other with anxieties that could lead to death or lead to bodily injury or harm. So look, man, today, man, if you out there, man, stay positive, man. Keep doing what you do, man, and let the people know that you're next door to them, the neighbors and your grandparents, your mothers. Tell them you love them, man. That's all you got to do, man. And this is another episode of your boy, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Facts, E-Dale, baby.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, it is start time. Are you ready for start time? Thank you, and thank you very kindly. It is indeed a great pleasure to present to you at this particular time.
Boy, E-Dale, a.k.a. Mr. Facts, man.
That's facts.
Kick the truth to the young